Game on.
All right. Welcome, one and all, to the newly improved Diggles Diamonds podcast. We've hired a producer, and by hired, I mean he volunteered and is taking no money because we don't have any. So, uh, welcome. Tonight, kind of a fun one. Um, we are coming off the pro day at Kay's Training Academy, and really cool mix there of some local high school talent that really showed out well, and some pro guys that we think, one, bear highlighting just because we want to try to help their careers, however near or far our reach might be, but also just to show you folks just how crazy baseball is now, because you're going to see like left-handers up to 97 that are still looking for a job today, with pitchers and catchers reporting in T minus what, a week, 10 days, something like that.
Yep.
So,
Word is I'm bringing home the bacon. Word is they don't see what it take to make it, but the word on the street side make it look easy. No flattering, cool, way too easy.
joining us tonight, not only the legendary David Bentley and our producer, who shall remain nameless. He would prefer to work in the shadows. Um, are also Tremont right-hander Chase Rhodes and Morton catcher Hudson Lovell. So, Chase, Huddy, why don't you guys take a bow?
Hey guys.
How's it going?
There we go. All right. Um. So, Mr. Bentley, I'll let you. Do you want to go first with your question, or do you want me to jump in?
I'll go first. I got
Okay.
one. My first one, I'm going to aim at Mr. Rhodes being a pitcher. Leading up to a pro case or even any showcase, what are you doing to ramp up or ramp down so your arm is nice and fresh before you go out there and cut it loose? Like 5 days before, 4 days before, 3 days. Like, just give me an idea if you're even thinking about that. Now, I know you guys are younger, your arms are fresh, you're feeling like you could bring the cheese at any time, but do you have any sort of style on a showcase like that to ramp up?
So I'm actually still kind of learning how to like match my workouts with the days I throw and all that stuff. But for this time, the main thing that I kind of focused on was I got my heavy lifts 4 days before the pro case, and I got a bull. My last like higher intent, I did like an 80% pen for 20 pitches. Um, Before pro day. And I guess after that, I really just focused on mobility and keeping the blood flowing in my legs and staying stretched out before I got there.
Yeah.
Let's talk about the headband. Did you or did you not feel 10 feet tall and bulletproof rocking the American flag headband?
Oh yeah, it was inevitable. There was nothing stopping me.
In all seriousness, though, like this was the most relaxed I've ever seen you on the mound, which is really uncommon given, that you've got guys from the Rays, the Royals, the Braves, the Rockies. I could go on and on with. I mean, you can see how many people were back there, but how are you so like? What is Josh telling you leading up to this event that had you so prepared?
As a high schooler, he was like, "Dude, you don't really have anything to lose. Just kind of go up there and do your thing." Me and him have really worked on improving the slider and the changeup a lot, and I was able to command it really well. I'd say I still, in terms of like throwing intent, I still need to ramp up. And I'm excited to get outside and be able to long toss a lot more because I think I'll be able to probably put on an extra 2 miles an hour just in that alone. But being able to locate those secondaries, which I kind of struggled with a little bit last year, was exciting to see this early in the year.
I agree, man. That change up and that slider looked amazing. And the fact that you think you got more in the tank when you're cruising at 92, I would not want to be a hitter in the HOI this spring. That's for sure. Not when the Turks came to town anyway. Mr. Bentley, you got something for Huddy?
Yeah, Hudson, you're a junior this year. Along the same lines as what Diggle just asked Chase, what do you tell yourself in your head before you walk into the building at K's Academy for a pro case with, 27-year-olds? What do you tell yourself to keep your confidence high, knowing that, there's guys in there that have like 10 more years of experience at high level baseball? What's your self-talk like before walking in there?
Yeah, so honestly, like, yeah, I was a little nervous, but honestly not as much as I thought I would be walking in there, like seeing that 7 foot lefty, like he was huge. And then seeing some of those other guys that, like, I don't know, I just kind of tried to take everything in, and I came in with like a perspective. There's a catcher that went to University of San Diego, and I talked to him for probably an hour, and like just trying to take everything in. And then um when they asked me to come, just like having the confidence that they have the faith in me to, they think that I can handle that. I guess that was where most of my confidence came from.
Yeah,
That makes sense.
you earned that
Go
invite when we watched you catch Cash last year at the Peoria Showcase. If
Yeah.
you can handle Cash, you can handle anybody else too.
And you reminded us you'd been catching him since you guys were like 11.
Yeah.
You made a good point, Hudson, about the fact that you picked another guy's brain. I mean, that's got to be a positive that a lot of kids don't think about, because younger kids might be more focused on, man, I'm a little bit nervous. These are older dudes, been in the minors, been drafted. But boy, what an opportunity to steal some secret knowledge from some of those guys.
Yeah, I mean, it was awesome. I was just like talking to him about he had an injury a sophomore year of high school, so when he was going into college, he was 170, and he didn't go to San Diego straight out of high school. And he was a big guy, like probably my height, but way stronger, you could tell. And just like talking to him about like his mobility routine, because that's something that I'm trying to improve. Um, Him just saying like that's probably been the most important thing in his career, kind of like pushed me as like I got to really work on that even more.
Yep.
All right,
What do
so
you got,
here,
Diggs?
let's get down to brass tacks here, Hudson. Give us the scouting report on what you saw on a Chase there while you were catching him.
I saw very firm stuff. I was honestly trying to take notes because I think we probably might see him or Dawson this spring. So I was trying to take notes because I had never caught him before. But yeah, we had a really good time. His stuff was electric. That sweeper's really good. Changeup was really good. So yeah, I mean, I thought I had a great time catching him, and I think he has more in the tank too.
Well, sorry, HOI hitters. It was fun. When the Turks come to town, just keep the bats on the rack. Um, Hudson, talk a little bit about your perspective. Kind of, you talked about uh, talking to the catchers, but did you pick up anything from the pitchers? It's like, hey, I want you to set up here. I like it when my catcher does this. Like, how much feedback were you getting from the pitchers there?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, not a ton, but going from catching like high school guys to now like catching these guys, like the difference that like I could see was massive. The movement like on the pitches, some of the guys, like I caught a guy that was probably 90 and 88 to 90, and his movement on his pitches were disgusting, and his he probably had the like heaviest fastball that I ever caught in my life. And I've caught 88 to 90 a lot in my life, and like it was just so much different. So I talked to him about that, and like he changed arm slots. He went to Southern Illinois, and he was just talking about that. So that was really interesting to me, seeing the level of the pro guys to the high school guys, like seeing the difference with that.
half the guys I saw on video that were, former draftees, etc., they were all going lower arm slots. And that usually is, as I've heard Cowton talk about himself, you're going to really get some funk on and movement on that stuff, especially when you're throwing that hard. Except for maybe, catching Ryan Schaffnet, your former teammate at Morton, who's now at Bradley. Um, was that one thing that you really noticed was, man, these guys, a lot of them are dropping down with that lower arm slot.
Yeah, almost every one of them, I would say. And I would say Ryan's changeup was pretty comparable to some of these guys' changeups. Um, but yeah, even sometimes Ryan would drop down a little bit more. I definitely see more pitchers going to that these days. And the ball definitely does move a ton more when they're down there.
Yep.
Almost unfair to combine that with the advances we've had in velo.
Mm-hmm.
You start throwing 95 with that movement, it gets crazy real quick, and we'll show you a couple of those guys here in a little bit. But that's Mr. Bentley. You got anything else?
Yeah. For both of you guys, Chase and Hudson, what kind of advice would you give a younger fella, 15, 16 right now, who is thinking about who would be good enough to go to a pro case, something you didn't expect when you were there, or something you wish you knew about? Hudson, I think you made a good point. Is you said you talked to the catcher from San Diego for a long time. Stealing secrets, getting intel. What advice would you guys have for a 15, 16-year-old who may have a chance to participate in a pro case in a year or two?
I guess one big thing would be really enjoy it and stay really disciplined. Keep working because the road's never going to be perfect. Development's not really linear. So just know that when you're there to pro case with other dudes that are really good, that must mean that you are also really good. But also when you're actually in the showcase, you see a bunch of radar guns or stuff behind it. It's hard to, but you kind of ignore the noise. You gotta enjoy the time that you're on the mound, relax. Um, it felt a lot shorter. I know it was like 8 minutes in between each pen. I felt like I was in there for only 3 minutes.
I bet.
Um,
Yeah.
I was just kind of soaking it up for a second, and I enjoyed it.
That's great.
Awesome.
What about you, Huds? Anything else? Any other tips?
Yeah, I mean, I would definitely agree with Chase, like soaking everything in. Yeah, knowing that you're there for a reason and just go like ball out. Like you have nothing to lose. Just stay within yourself. Don't overdo it. Kind of like Chase was saying, and take it from a humble perspective and learn from the other guys. Talk to other guys at any showcase you go to, and just try to pick people's brain.
That's good advice,
Good
man.
advice. Very good.
Right up there with Jimmy Dugan. So, well, boys, that's all we've got for you. You're welcome to hang out and watch the rest of some of these videos with us. And if you saw something you liked in there, feel free to comment, or else you can log off and go do whatever it is you teenage guys do these days when you're
Yeah, thanks for joining on a school night here. Usually
I'm
we
sure
record on Sundays.
I'm sure Rhodes has some like quantum physics to do or something as he gets ready to be an engineer and run the world.
Got some calculus homework.
Oh, there you go. I'm getting hives already just thinking about it, buddy. So, all right, boys. Well, hey, we thank you for joining us. Great job this week. You both, you really showed out. I mean, Chase, I mean, that was if that's you all year, you're gonna have a great year, dude.
Yeah.
And Huds, I so proud to see you rip that 84 out of the crouch. That was great, man.
Appreciate it, guys.
Yeah.
So, all right, boys. Well, thanks for joining us. And like I said, you're welcome to hang out or you're welcome to log off, whichever you prefer. So, moving on, there were some other standouts locally. We had RJ Duncan, the ISU recruit. RJ coming off a monster pro case where he was 90-92 up at the PBR pro case in Shorewood, and decided to come to this one as well after Josh Cotton extended the invite. And RJ looked pretty good. His lower half was firmed up and showed command of all three pitches. We had a little Ryan Camp got him together for a little bullpen on that Saturday, and cleaned up the slider a little bit and got him going. Drew Stevens that you see there, Drew coming off a great showing at the pro case as well. Multiple balls hit off the bat at 100. He's a Valpo recruit. And then last but not least was Max Heineman. And DB, at some point we got to have normal community coach Ryan Short on the show. Number one, so we can pay tribute to the late great Ned Graham. But two, I would love to hear how he, you don't see this. You don't see schools with two D1 players at a position. Maybe separated by years. You know what I mean? Hey, this, it's like the old Davis Weeks Ryder Renette situation. Davis is going to Michigan State. Ryder, he's going to take you under your wing. We know you're the number 10 player in the state in the 2028 class, but you're going to learn from Davis for the first year of your career.
I mean, not only the catchers, don't they have 4 D1 commits on that team?
5.
5.
Because Jones transferred over there too from U-High. So that's 2 arms that are 93 plus, 2 D1 catchers, and a D1 shortstop.
You got to give love to a lot of people, obviously to their coach, their head coach, but then, Cowton working with them with the arms, especially. That is it's Brother Rice-esque.
Yeah.
They're kind of the Brother Rice of Central Illinois.
Although, shout out to Mount Carmel. I couldn't believe how many, I'm pretty sure their whole roster signed to play college baseball this week.
I think 5 D1s, maybe even 6. And then you had the one guy, Jonathan, his last name starts with an O. He DH'd, and he's going D1 JUCO.
Yeah.
So
he going to what, Cali? Yeah, Cali.
It's somewhere in Tennessee, I thought.
Maybe he's going. I'll have to look it up later.
I can't remember the name of it, but yeah, that whole lineup, and that's why I said when that Wharton kid from Whitney Young just shut him down towards the end of the season last year.
Oh, Southpaw.
Barton, thank you.
No, with a G.
Garton. Sorry. A lot of names, a lot of
Rosenbagger.
It just makes it more impressive when you see all the dudes that you were getting out going to places like Georgetown and U of I with Mr. Shavi.
And Ireland.
And Ireland together, and then Wake Forest for TJ.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, let's take you folks through some of these other videos here. Mr. Producer, if you'll pull up Mr. Jared Beck, I think this will be something everybody enjoys seeing. For those of you not familiar, the gentleman before you there, Jared Beck, is 7 feet tall. He is originally from Davenport, Iowa. Did some time at Heartland right around COVID. So I don't know that he ever pitched too much for the Hawks, but ISU took a chance on him, and he ended up dropping down and transferring to St. Leo, a D2 down there in Florida, where he played for one of my favorite coaches, one of my good friends, Rick Odette. And this was an incredible pen on a number of levels. The velo was there. I mean, he was 94, 95. The changeup was there. I mean, just so much that this guy, it was impressive. What was really impressive was he knew he was killing it. You can see him a couple times. He throws a pitch and he comes off and yep, right there's the clap. He and I are talking this whole time. Talking about, hey man, nice pitch, nice, and he goes, He said, he goes, all right, now it's time for the sweeper from hell. And I think this is it right here. Let's see what he cuts loose. Yep, there it was. I mean, just from over 7 feet down to the floor. It was incredible, DB.
Yeah, that's Randy Johnson there. He's basically handing the ball to the catcher.
Yeah, yeah. It's interesting. So Johnson was what, 6'10", 6'11"?
Yeah, 6'10".
Yeah, and then so he was the tallest to play Major League Baseball, and I think Chris Young, from the Mets and Pirates, but now the tallest guy is Sean Healy out of Minnesota, and I actually recruited Sean Healy for a minute after he blew up at a PBR showcase. He came all the way down from Minneapolis to Chicago for a PBR showcase, and I called him right after the showcase, and then I called him back a couple days later. He's like, "Coach, I got to call Kentucky." I was like, "All right, it's been good knowing you, man." But this dude would be taller than both of them. So if Beck makes it to the bigs, that would be a heck of a deal, and just further proof of Rick Odette's pitching masterpiece with coaching. If you're not familiar with Coach Odette, he sent 20 players on to the professional level pitching wise alone. Just a great pitching coach all around. So let's see. Next up, we've got another favorite, Kevin Dowdell. Originally from Alabama, played a little JUCO ball down in Alabama, and then went to West Virginia University. Swears he's 6'1". I thought he was a little smaller. Now, granted, coming after Beck, that's probably not as easy to judge. But this dude's arm was electric. Up to 97, almost 98. And again, we're showing you this because these guys are still unsigned. They're looking for a ride, folks. So it's not just throwing hard, and even some of their junk is electric. But oh my god,
He threw a sinker in that first one on video there.
Yep.
That disgusting with arm side.
Oh yeah.
Tail
there it was
and
again.
Drop, and just gross. Love the arm slot on where he's at.
Yep. Yeah, it was really impressive. And the best part about this dude, like you kind of think he's going to be like Mighty Mouse, but he's got this deep, rich baritone voice, and it was just it cracked me up. Really good dude though, and really there you saw the 97. It was that's something to hear. Like, yeah, that was interesting.
I know he's listed at 6'1", could be 6 foot, whatever, but you're seeing a lot more kids, even more like 5'9", who are bringing the cheddar, and there's places for you. I have to quote Dewey Calmer used to be very much against like sub 5'10" pitchers, and sadly,
slow twitch muscle fiber.
Yeah, he missed out on some good players, but that was his thing. He just wouldn't look at them, and I think that has died with the dinosaurs. I think if you're a little fella and you can bring the cheese, Sean McNair out of Deerfield, who's committed now to Lafayette Division I out there on the East Coast. I saw him throw. I think he's about 5'8". Disgusting stuff, just filthy. Great slider. So you little guys that like to pitch, don't give up. There's a place for you.
Absolutely. Into the right-handers a little bit here. This was kind of cool. This is Blake Donnan. Blake is a Central Illinois boy. He's from Taylorville. Played at Olney Central College down there. Oh my goodness! For Dennis Conley,
it's in Olney.
Yeah, in Olney. And what was cool about this one was I've known Blake since he played for the Decatur Commodores, and so we had a nice little conversation going. And he hit a personal record, a personal best in this pen of 95.4, and it was kind of cool to be the guy that told him that, and then he kind of kind of double took looking back at me, and he's like, "That's a PR." And I was like, "You have more in there, man. Let it loose."
Yeah.
So it was very cool to see another. I mean, that filthy low angle arm angle.
Arm side run.
Oh, yeah.
Beautiful arm side run at 94.
Yeah.
And nowadays, because the velo's so high on average, you got to have some movement on your stuff.
Yep. Absolutely. So that one was interesting. And then this young man, Noah Manning. I know he looks like he's a grizzled old man, but he's actually only like 25 or 26. And this dude came from a real low, kind of funky arm slot. You can kind of see him getting into it there, just as it bounces back. But that arm is lightning fast. Found out he pitched at Troy University down there in Alabama for my good friends Skylar Mead and Ben Wolgamott. And man, it was impressive. I was not shocked, especially he had a nice production track record in the Sun Belt. So, yeah. All right, and then last but not least, we've got Justin Militello. This one was kind of interesting. So this kid was signed as a free agent out of high school, which does not happen very often. Hardly at all. I think you'll see it happen more, but in recent years with the draft being longer, back when it was 60, 50, 40 rounds, you were much more likely to just get drafted. And I think you're going to see more and more teams start to sign guys after the draft that they had an eye on. But just to give you folks an idea of how kind of cutthroat this is, he gets signed, he blows up at an all-star game, kind of like the McDonald's all-star game we have here in town, or the intercity versus area game they have in Bloomington and Springfield and all that. Blew up at the All-State game, kind of like we have the ICA All-State game up there in LaSalle. But even though, I mean, he's clearly, he's been up to 95, comfortably 93, 94, only got 74 innings in pro ball, and then they released him. And this is a kid who had a full ride to Eastern Michigan University, stepped away from it, and man, like that happens a lot. Your time in pro ball is nothing's guaranteed, and there's no minimum they have to meet, and I don't think a lot of people realize that.
Luckily, he's still very young. His mechanics to me look very clean.
Yeah,
and
yeah, he's definitely got some. He was probably one of the ones that there was the scouts had the most interest in, I would say. So
I would think too, his age has got to pop for a scout. You see the exact same guy who's 22 versus 26.
Yeah,
I mean, I can tell you, one of our friends of the pod, Evan Farner, one of my best friends, he turned 29 and his stuff was still as filthy as it was when he was 24, but he was released because when you get closer to 30, they say, we got this 21-year-old we're trying to break in. Best of luck to you.
Yeah. And they've probably got more money invested in that kid. Like that's, it used to be, hey, if you've got, $500,000, whatever it might be, wrapped up in a draft pick, you were going to give them the shot to see if they could do it. Whereas, the kid you signed for a bus ticket, you're just like, you got to be really good to get out of here. Otherwise, we're just using you as roster filler.
It's the plot of Bull Durham. Let's be honest here. Kevin Costner rakes that whole movie and he gets dropped. He gets released.
Yeah.
And then Eddie Nanouche, they got $1 million in him. He gets promoted and his ERA was probably 8 that season in the movie.
Yeah.
But high strikeouts, so they move him up to AA. Next thing you know, he's in the show. So
yep.
I think I butchered his name.
What is his
full name?
Ebby Calvin. Ebby Calvin Nuke Lelouch.
I mean, they couldn't have made it more simpler. Jesus. Like for us trying to remember. Like Rick Vaughn, I'm never going to forget Rick Vaughn. Get Eddie Calvin. I mean, geez.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, brother, that is all I've got for you tonight. So
Good summation of the pro case. For those of you hoping to be in one someday, hopefully we shed some light on what it's like and a few good tips from Hudson Lavelle and Chase Rhodes.
yeah, we thank Hudson and Chase for joining us, and we thank you all for joining us. This is why we do it, to hopefully help you folks out. So we will see you all on the next go round. All right.
I think we got to